even with the documentary, even with bro documentary that we're doing, is for me it's very important we put a light on all the things bro was going through and still was able to rise and be successful. And because when people really take a step back and really watch that, they even amazed more. You know, people show bro love so much love right now, and they don't even fully understand 90% of the story. So that's why for
So, man, while I had to wake up, bro, and see so much stuff being pushed out with regards to, the things that took place in Long Beach yesterday. I don't even want to talk about it because to me it's senseless. One thing for sure I can say about all this is that if you can't bring yourself into the recognition of the power of what you know is being presented with the community, the opportunity that's being presented to the community in terms of togetherness, and you can't set aside whatever differences that you may have, bro, just don't show up, bro. Like, don't show up to this type of events because here we are the day after the grand opening of the Marathon Burger in Long Beach, which should be a proud moment, a family moment, because actually, when you go into the marathon, even the one on Melrose, right? Um, these two particular ones, the Long Beach one and the one on Melrose, they feel like a family event is happening. It feels like community, right? So if you can't go up there, if you even I don't care if you work there, I don't care if you anybody who's want to be a participant in this whole aura that is surrounding the culture that the Marathon Burger is supposed to bring into the scenery, into the culture that has been arrived to what is supposed to be culture, and is definitely not culture because our culture until most recently was together. It wasn't divided. And if you look back and if you realize, bro, how much we had togetherness and how much since the 1980s, I should say, um, not being able to come back together, bro, it's been 50 years, bro. What, no, let me see. No, it's been like 40 years to where we haven't ever been able to come together and celebrate a moment to which we are coming back into the prior history of who we were prior to the 1980s, prior to all this, you know, us pointed the finger at each other in every situation to where it becomes some type of thing of an upworld. So while everybody's want to sit up here and push out the negative aspects of what the Marathon Burger, and particularly in its grand opening, has brought, then the day before that, here you had a smoke crap, right? And it's all surrounding the same genre that is within the black community, right? And I'm not being particular, right? But it is to say, if you can't be man enough, bro, to come to these type of events without wanting to point the finger at somebody else by doing a thing that which is expected to represent culture in LA, but it's not really culture, right? For us black people, stay away, bro, because we black culture is tired of it, right? That does not represent black culture. Like you, it's like y'all is newbies, y'all's babies who's messing it up. So here we are, man. We gonna get back to what it's supposed to be, right? And we gonna get at Black Sam discussing the extensive behind the scenes effort to produce an authentic documentary about Nipsey Hussle. Uh, in connections to the highlights of the intimate sources that ultimately draws in to bringing in a story with the footage that they've gathered up in order to really tell an authentic Nipsey Hussle story. And it's also when you realize it's supposed to be something to inspire us, not to divide us, not to keep us at odds with each other. So if you can't go to these events, if you can't allow a man to take a date up there, to sit up there with his family and enjoy this moment, bro, stay away.
For us and our team is so important to fully do this documentary correctly, and we have all the footage and we have everything. So when they actually really look at the story, they're gonna just be amazed.
Yeah. Um, let's touch on a documentary, I guess, for a second. Where do you even get all the footage from? Like, it's old files you got to go dig up and like,
Yeah.
or let's take it here. How do you even start at the beginning of it? Is it like is it you write it down? Who's writing it down? How does it even start off?
Yep. So I think once we've been working or we had an idea to
Mm-hmm.
do documentary. Excuse me. When Hustle put out Victory Lap, we wanted to put a documentary for that. So the idea was there, and we knew the story and what we were trying to do. Um, After everything, man, happened, you know, we like, okay, we got to figure this. We really got to figure this out now, and we were blessed to have partners. Spring Hill came in and helped us. LeBron's company,
Mm-hmm.
Mav, came and helped us put a team together and put the first financing in, and then we just blitzed and got all footage we could get. My dad had footage from when we went to Africa. We found footage from so many different people. Footage of Hustle when he first was making beats. When he had a ball fade as a teenager.
Mm.
Hustle in school plays. When he was performing, just everything you could think of, we have it. And just even we have when his daughter was first born in the hospital. We have everything.
Oh
So
damn.
yeah, watching it even while we're editing, man, I'm just like blown away. Like to your point, like man, how did we even get all this? This is crazy. We
Yeah.
got so much things I've never even seen. So I'm watching it, just I'm crying. I'm like, damn,
For
this is
sure.
crazy, man. So the
I hope that it ultimately gets to being able to tell a story that represent the culture, um, black people in general in this new dynamic of a culture that we've come into, um, to where you see it on the internet so much, to where how do you go from being a little boy with dreams, wanting to take, recycled computer parts, put them together to build your own computer, to getting out here in the community, becoming part of the streets, and then recycling them back into yourself, to go back into one of the, actually creating the world's first smart store. And see, this is why we should be appreciating this whole marathon burger thing, right? Because it's a celebration. It's a celebration of a dude who been through all these trials and these tribulations. Now, why do us as a black community, why do we have to narrate ourselves into these environments, right? In order to kind of feel a sense of securement within our communities, and only to recognize that hold up, we gonna have to revert back into ourselves, into who we actually are, to make it and be successful, in our lives, to actually represent the best of our community. Turn around, come into developing the world's first smart store. So the way he started, in reality, is the way he pretty much uh, ended, because we don't care about all the stuff that was necessarily in the middle. When it comes to, we care about all the stuff that he was doing in order to try to inspire. Now he had to delve in deep into the community. He had to participate, get into the street culture with regards to all that, in order for his full story to come to light, and but to come back into itself, to realize like it's a bigger picture that's out here, and I gotta inspire. That's what I hope that the documentary ultimately brings out, because I feel like that's the true Nipsey Hussle, to where he had to revert back into himself as a man, and then want to get out here and say, you know, yeah, I know about this lifestyle over here, but this ain't really getting us nowhere. So I got to get us somewhere. I got to go back into myself and revert to who I really know I am.
Task right now, and like I tell everybody, the task for us is don't mess this up, because we need the right people. We need to take the time. This is not a money grab trying to sell it. No, we got to take our time and edit this thing correctly, because we have it. We and the story is just there. We just it's our we're tasked to make sure we masterfully edit this, and that's kind of what we've been doing for the last years. So from start to finish, when I watch it now with our team and editing it, it's true.
Yeah.
Everything about it, the journey, the ups and downs from beginning, I get goosebumps. I'm like, man, I'm telling the editors, I'm like, no, now this is true. Now we have to come in and we have to edit it and bring it to the highs, the lows, and make sure it's not too long. But the story is here.
So, like I said, man, like I hope that the documentary delves into a bigger picture that within our communities, the stuff that we going through when we having these grand openings, when Nips and the Marathon Burgers having these grand opens in order to inspire the community and ultimately show the community, um, resurrect, in a sense, the the availability we have as being part of this country, bro. Because what we've lost, or excuse me, over the past, man, I think the last 20 years, we've lost businesses. You know what I'm saying? We've lost the idea that it's all right for us to be entrepreneurial. Besides delving into the street culture, we've lost ownership in this community. We lost ownership in a lot of the communities within the state of California alone, besides just not thinking about the city of Los Angeles. Look how much ownership we've lost. And you have an opportunity to show, give a representation of, a black ownership coming back to LA. And the Marathon Burger has been a good representation of that. It's sad that you have a spot that was the world's first smart store, right? And because of something that is seemed like culture, that but is really not our culture, is politicking to the point to where we don't have the availability to actually claim this spot as a landmark, to reopen the store up, to for that whole 4 blocks to really thrive and develop into what that landmark is supposed to represent. So what I'm doing is I'm writing a book about this whole issue, because it's a reason why we go out here and we do what we do when it's something that we're supposed to be celebrating. We necessarily turn around and revert it back into something that has to have some negative intention to it, to where we're suffering from a disease. And until we are able to pinpoint to what that disease is, we're not going to be able to fix the problem. So, and it's not an opportunity for me to promote my book, but it's an opportunity for me to mention it, just on just on point, because here we are, we facing ourselves with opportunity where we want to inspire more black owned businesses. It just doesn't stop with Marathon Burger, but we want to inspire to the idea of entrepreneurship. That this is what the black community was known for, right? Always hard working, always have wanted opportunities, always want to develop businesses, Always, look, my uncle and my dad owned a store back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Owned houses back in the day. You know, where did we fall short to where we can identify ourselves with coming into being successful people besides uh, portraying this character out here that we're portraying while other people has the opportunity to laugh at that, right? So here, what I see Nipsey Hussle is, I see Nipsey Hussle as a person who got tired of being laughed at, right? I see Nipsey Hussle as a person who simply saw the disease and wanted to inspire people out of the disease in order for us all to elevate. Because you hear it in his rap songs, he's giving you a depiction of how far we've been falling, and we shouldn't be like that, right? So while everybody else this morning want to put out all this negativity about what happened at the marathon, what I'm telling you is all that don't matter, because the fact of the matter is, whether it's was the one at Venice Beach, whether it's the one on Melrose, whether it's Nipsey Hussle Square that happened the day before the grand opening of the Marathon Burger at Long Beach, whether it's, like I said again, the one at Long Beach, it doesn't matter. That what's supposed to be culture is not our culture that's representing us. Our culture is way more supportive. This is why you see when he had that grand opening, so many black people is delving in right into it because of the story that Nipsey Hussle was given to us. The story that the Nipsey Hussle name gives to us, the idea that his name gives to us now, right? Is way more important than these individuals who is diluting our moment, not just their moment, our moment as a community, right? Think about it in terms of, here you had a man that's next door to what is about to be called the Black Cultural District. Right next door, it's about to be basically next door to Nipsey Hussle Square, Slauson and Crenshaw, right? And think about if we can't get support from beyond our communities. We need support from beyond our community to show how great our community is. That we can't put a store that represents our intelligence right there on Nipsey Hussle Square, and we can't even say that, okay, we gonna make an extension of this store into the Black Cultural District. You know what I'm saying? Like, when does when does it stop? When does it stop? Because who gonna come support us? We need money not only to circulate within the black community, but we need money to come into the black community. That's when we know that we're doing right. When the money that's outside comes in, and the money that's in stays in, that's what's gonna make us thrive. But if we can't do that, if we have only the black community going to see Nipsey Hussle movie, you know, what does it mean if we can't be a representation of the greatness in our community from to the people that's on the outside? And I do this because all I see on YouTube today, right, is the individuals who want to push the negative stuff about what happened in Long Beach. So what? Who cares? Don't nobody care. One thing that I like to note about some of Nipsey Hussle songs is that when he was alive, he refused to die. And what do I mean by that? What? How did this rap go? He basically, right? in so many words. He like, y'all can sit out here on these street corners. Y'all can do nothing. I'm finna go chase life. I'm finna go make my money. I'm finna go inspire my people. If y'all wanna sit out here and y'all wanna do this stuff, be so much into these streets where y'all not living, y'all die. But me, I'm finna go live. And that's the inspiring story of what Nipsey Hussle has given back to this community, back to the black community. Because what seems like culture is not our culture. It's a disease. And we have to own up to it so that we can be able to fix it. And the only thing that should be representing about all the negativity that's been happening while everybody want to blow this up on YouTube, I'm going to bring it back full circle. The only thing that matters, right, is that whole idea that we all should be living. Should none of us be dying from this disease? Because it is a disease. And to get to that point, I've been working on a book. So we can pinpoint exactly what it is. And we can go about fixing it in our own community because if we don't get to that point, we going to continuously have situations like this to where we are not owning up to the responsibility that we have as men, as women, to give to the next generation, to recognize the part that we play into each other so that we can grow out of something that has been, I want to say, given to us, but at the same time, it's not only being given to us, it's something that we've had just seemingly accepted for so long. We don't have to be infected with this disease. One thing about some diseases, they can be cured. And this is one disease that can be cured. And the opening of the Marathon Burger represents that. Because even with all that, even though it's not open today, the marathon continued right after that. Didn't really stop nothing. So people wake up. Wake up. So with all that negativity, I want to bring something positive to this whole ordeal by not only, being able to give you a little snapshot of my book, which is a side note to all this, but also to represent that, man, it's a bigger issue. I'm glad for the movie that's going to come out. I'm going to go see it, but I hope that other community members go see it, but I also hope that people from outside the community go see it. I can't wait to Prolific come out. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing for sure, I need something else to work out to. I need something else that's gonna be bobbing my head, making me feel like I'm on one, and that this is what I get up every day to work for. I get up to every day to be inspired. I get up every day to be motivated and listen to something that when I'm out here on this grind, on this hustle, that this that's gonna keep me active and motivated to get out here. Because even if I don't care where you from, if you getting out here, you getting out here for your people. You getting out here for your people. If you trying to be legit, if you trying to do things right, you getting out here for your people first. And you are only a representation of all the possibilities of your people, right? And here's the opportunity to stay on tune, stay on point, stay objective, stay in tune with the goals, not get diluted with the bull crap, and let you know. Nipsey got that Prolific coming out. I got that book coming out. And I haven't given a direct title yet. I'm playing with titles. And that documentary is coming out. I hope that it shows the transition from Nipsey being that little dude who wanted to take them little computer parts, salvage them, to put his own computer together, get into diving into that hustler mentality, get into the street culture, seeing what the street culture had to offer, wanting to be about his community, and then coming back into itself, like full circle, because that's what the Nipsey Hussle story is really about. If you look at it, he always said he wanted to be about a community, and even in his death, right? This is what his legacy is continuing to build on and build upon. So shout outs to Black Sam.
We are the essence of God's image. We are the representation of God's love for His creation.